I'm be here. Very late today, I think. And last time I have read it, the story of David Goggins, and continue start from to die. Okay, so so we are in chapter one. I should have been a statistics. Okay, now I will continue from here. The food was good, but even at 6 and 7 year old, I knew our family there. That's obvious because when you are a little at 6 to 7 year old, you have think about like the party most of the time. So that's why in family of David Goggins they didn't. Was bullshit face smile compared to what most families had. Plus we ate fast. There was no time to enjoy it because at 7 p.m. when the doors opened, it was so time. So now here, when you are come, it means it is the speaking, how to speak, how to read books. I'm going to tell you. There was no time to. There was no time to eat because 7 p.m. when the door opened, it was so tight. And we all had to be in our places with our station prepared. My dad was the sheriff, and once he stopped into the DJ booth, he had a strangulated means he see all of this like triangulated their mom, their brother, and David Gomi like this. He see that. He scanned that room like an all-seeing eye, and if you fucked up, you had heard about it unless you felt it first. So when you read that things, it means you also speak it up. So that's why I'm talking. That's why I'm reading today. And as you know that every single day I'll comment. The room did not look like much under the hearts overhead house lights, but once he dimmed them, okay, the room did not like much under the hearts overhead house lights, but once he dimmed them, the soul lights bathed the rings of the red and glanced off the spinning mirror ball, conjuring a skate disco fantasy, weekends or way night. Because as you know, guys, I'm here, so just focus on yourself. Do not focus on anything at all. And yes, of course, you can change it. But how do you change it? You have to just read. I'm here to improve myself. Got it? I am improved here. So that's why I'm reading. Okay? Spinning mirror ball, conjuring a skate disco, fantasy, weekend or weeknight. Hundreds of skates piled through the door. Most of the time they came in as a family, paying their $3 entrance fee and half-dollar skate fee before hitting the floor. I rented out the skate and managed the entire station by myself. I carried that step stool around like a church. Without it, the customer couldn't even see me. The bigger size skate were down below the counter, but the smaller sizes were scored so high. I'd have to scale the slaves, which always made the customers laugh. Mom was the one and only cashier. She controlled everyone cover jar, and to Trones, money was everything. He counted the people as they came in, calculating like his taken wheel times, so he had a rough idea of what to expect when he counted out the register after we closed up. And it had better all be there. All the money was his. The rest of us never earned a cent for our sweat. In fact, my mother was never given any money, of her own. She had no bank account or credit card in her name. He controlled everything, and we all knew what would happen if her cash drawer ever came up short. So you can see that how the life David Goggins has been. Okay, very tough, but how he handled it, that's the main things. Okay, so as you know that I wanna improve something here. Like when I'm speaking, when I'm talking English, it's give me something greater. So remember this. If you just read this book, it can change it to you. Well, I practice these things and there's a lot of hard words also. I need to understand all kind of things. Okay. None of the customer who came through our doors knew any of this. Of course, to them, Skateland was a family-owned and operated dream cloud. My dad spun the faring vinyl course of disco and funk, and the early rumbles of hip-hop bars bounced off the red walls, courtesy of Buffalo's favorite son Rick James, George Clinton's Funkadelic, and the first track ever released by hip hop innovators Run DMC. Some of the kids were speed skating. I like to go fast too, but we had our share of skate dancer, and the floor got funky. For the first hour or two, the parents stayed downstairs and skated, or watched their kids spin the oval. But they would eventually leak upstairs to make their own scenes, and when enough of them made the moves, Tony slipped out of the DJ booth so he could join them. My dad was considered the unofficial mayor of Marston, and he was a phony politician to the core. His customers were his marks. And what they did not know was that no matter how many drinks he poured on the house and bro hugs he shared, he did not give a fuck about any of that. You can see that. They were all dollar signed to him. If he poured you a drink for free, it was because he knew you would buy two or three more. Okay. While we had our share of all night skate and 24 hours skate marathons, the Skateland doors typically close at 10 p.m. That's when my mother, brother, and I went to work, finishing bloody tampons out of sick-filled toilets, eating the lingering cannabis haze out of both bathrooms, scraping bacteria-loaded gum off the rink floor, cleaning the concessions kitchen, and taking inventory. Just before midnight, we had slogged into the office. Adult, half dead. Our mother would tuck my brother and he beat a blanket on the office sofa. Our heads opposite one another as the ceiling shook with the sound of bass heavy fun. As soon as she stepped inside the bar, Tunis had her working the door, hustling downstairs like a booze mule to fetch cases of liquor from the basement. There was always some manual task to perform, and she did not stop moving while my father kept watching from his corner of the bar where he could take in the whole scene. In those days, Rick James, a Buffalo's native and one of the father's closest friends, stopped by whenever he was in town, parking his Excalibur on the sidewalk out front. His car was a billboard that let the who'd know a super frag was in the house. He wasn't the only celebrity that came through. O.G. Simpson was one of the NFL's biggest stars, and he and his Buffalo Bills teammates were regular as the Teddy Pendergrass and the Sister Sledge. If you don't know the names, look them up. Okay, so guys, as you know that every day I'm coming and read the books, and it gives me how to speak because I want to improve the English. How I can do it? By reading the books, by listening something, and also what I can do. Just just writing something. So that's why that way I can improve it. So that's why every day I have these books. You can also purchase this Can't Hurt Me, written by David Goggins. So that book I wanna read. Okay, maybe if I had been older or my father had been a good man, I might have had some pride of being part of culture moment like that. But young kids are not about that life. It's almost like no matter who our parents are and what they do, we are all born with a moral compass that's properly tuned. When you are 6, 7, or 8 year old, you know what feels right and what feels way the fuck off. Yes, of course, we know about something this. And when you are born into cyclone of terror and pain, you know it does not have to be that way. And that truth nags at to you like splinter in your jacked up mind. You can choose to ignore it, but the dull throbbing is always there as the days and nights bleed together into one blurred memory. Some moments do stick out though, and one I'm thinking of right now still haunts me. That was the night my mom stepped into the bar before she was, right, it still haunts me. That was the night my mom stepped into the bar before she was expected and found my dad sweet talking a woman about 10 years her junior. Rooney saw her watching and shrugged, while my mother eyeballed him and slugged two shots of Johnny Walker's Red to calm her nerves. He noticed her rejection and didn't like it one damn bit. So these are the story of David Goggins that I'm reading, and that's amazing. When you read something, the mind, the brain is flicking out, and it gives you more ideas at to something how the life would be gone at, because you know that everyone has a different type of their stories, their life. So how they are get out into that. So these are the all kind of things you have to build up. Okay. She knew how things were, that Tony's son prostitute across the border to Fort Erie in Canada, a summer cottage belonging to the president of one of Buffalo's biggest bank, double as his pop-up brother. He introduced Buffalo's bankers to his girl whenever he needed a longer line of credit. And those loans always came through. My mom knew the young women she was watching was one of the girls in the stable. She had seen her before once she walked in on them fucking on Scotland office sofa. You know that there is some curse language used in this book, but it's be okay. When she found them together, the women smiled at her truly stroked. No, my mom wasn't clueless, but seeing it with her own eyes always burned. Around midnight, my mother drove with one of our security guards to make a bank deposit. He begged her to leave my father. He told her to leave that very night. Maybe he knew what was coming. She did too, but she could not run because she had no independence. You know that Tony Goggins, the father of David Goggins, didn't give any money of their mother. Okay, so she did not, she really totally dependent. Okay, means whatsoever, and she wasn't going to leave us in his hands. Plus, she had no rights to community property because Tunis had always refused to marry her, which was a riddle she was only then starting to solve. My mother came from a solid middle class family and had always been the virtuous type. He resented that, treated his hookers better than the mother of his son, and as a result, he had her trapped. She was 100% dependent, and if she wanted to leave, she had have to walk with nothing at all. My brother and I never slept well at Scotland because you know that they are work in Scotland at night. The ceiling shook too much because the office was directly below the dance floor. When my mother walked in the night, I was already awake. She smiled, but I noticed the tears in her eyes and remembered smelling the scotch on her breath when she scooped me up in her arms as tenderly as she could. Okay, so I completed 24 page, and as you know that guys, if you reading the books, it can help you to understand the world also. And I started these things, and every single day I will come here and do my task. And also, you know that if you want to see my channel, there is some videos of running and also some exercise. You can see it, and it's very great when you do like that, and it's amazing. So remember one thing: if you doing something every day, it give you motivations, it give you discipline, because everything is based on discipline, and I think you can do it. Okay, it's very easy. Just start with a small step and live your ground. Means just do it. Don't focus on the result, because all you know that when you do something and after some times you think about nothing result come it. But if you are in the game, if you do every single day, because you know that the main thing is that the consistency, and the consistency is always matter, and you and I all know about it. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm reading the books. Something will change. I just have some days just reading, and the things I grab something that how David Goggins' life has been. Okay, so how I can improve that? How I can improve from the reading? Well, I can see that there is a odds come in your life. How you can break those odds and live new life, change your life. Okay, after you know that there is another story, another chapter, truth hurts, and you know that after the taking souls, no, I'm sorry, the impossible task. So you can see that is I can change my life to reading this book. Of course, I think you can see that some changes can occur it. Don't waste your time to scrolling the Instagram, to YouTube, another video. Just focus on yourself, and everything can change it to you. Okay, and I think you can do it. Focus on yourself. Thank you so much. This would be the greatest to me. And there is some guys here who's write the message. One say chuck me. Okay, that's great thing you gave me. And another is you are crazy. Okay, now another says Sarah. Don't focus on that type of message. Just do yourself. Okay, just people are just saying they cannot do it if they are trolling. They only control. So I'm going to talk to you that you have just do yourself. Don't listen your neighbors when they are demotivated. Don't listen. Don't need to be. Okay, they not uh, give you the money. They don't give you the commodity. You do yourself with your family. Nothing at all. Only thing. Thank you so much. Yes.